have more in common with a white author than you have with someone who's against all literature. So why must we always concentrate on color or on religion or this? There are other ways of connecting men.
I'll tell you this. When I left this country in 1948, I left this country for one reason only, one reason. I didn't care where I went. I might have gone to Hong Kong, I might have gone to Timbuktu, I ended up in Paris, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there than it already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a writer by yourself, you have to be able then to turn up all the antenna with which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You may die. And it's very hard to do a typewriter and concentrate on that if you're afraid of the world around you. The years I lived in Paris did one thing for me. They released me from that particular social terror, which was not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger visible in the face of every cop, every boss, everybody. I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know, as Malcolm X once put it, it's the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That's a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means that I can't afford to trust most white Christians and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their unions. I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks I give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
All right, so Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakah, Kodash, double honors to the apostles, and those at Great Millstone. As you can see, James Baldwin. This speaks volumes, on what type of mindset we're supposed to have. What comes to my mind when I looked at this video, flee ye out of the midst of Babylon. Never trust thine enemy. Okay, and that's what this man is doing, man. He turned his back on America. But, he made a few statements, he fled. I should say he fled from the midst of Babylon, which is America. Okay, he literally fled. Okay, he literally went to France, but we don't have that, that privilege. We don't have that. We can't do that, In many cases, most brothers can't do that. They can't take their family and go live somewhere else. Because the truth of the matter is that the system, which is the beast system, the image of the beast system, is alive and well throughout all the world now. Okay. But, that's the sentiment, that's a thought that came to my mind when I first, looked at this, so, flee from the midst of Babylon. Okay, because he made a statement. He said, if you turn your back, you can die. Okay, and in other words, what he was saying is if you take your if you put your guard down to this American system, it will kill you. It will destroy you. It will destroy you. If you don't have your guard up, you can get caught up in this system and be headlong in the system. And fall on your face in the system, because the system is poisonous. Okay, it's the beast system. It's a debt system. It's designed to put you in debt. Okay, it's designed to keep you deprived and keep you in the lower parts of society, Blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. And if you are at the top, you have to sacrifice certain things. I like your integrity, your humanity, because you got to be part of fraternal orders, sorority orders, to become, to mingle within become the flesh within the society, And in other words, what I mean by that, being the flesh, is being joined, one to another with all these different nations, and and reaping the benefits of, this beast system. Okay. So, I got a few precepts. Also, he made a few other statements, that pretty much drove home, and the scriptures pretty much explain what I got out of it. So my first scripture, Jeremiah 51:6, it says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, and be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." Now, some might say that this has already happened. But if you don't understand anything about history, if you don't know history is bound to repeat itself. Okay. And the scriptures say that, the scriptures say the thing that have been is the thing that shall be. Okay. And we see the thing that have been, which is ancient Babylon, and this, the social makeup of it is still alive and well. Okay. Spiritually. All right. So we can say the same thing that we're saying here, that we see here in the ancient Babylon. We see it today in modern Babylon, which is America. So flee out of midst of Babylon, not like he literally fled America, because those were rough times trying to make it in America. 50 years ago, they was water hosing us. They had lynch mobs. They were doing all kinds of things to you blacks, lands, and Native Americans. All right. Because the so-called white man is vicious. He's tyrannical. He's hysterically, psychopathically, he endangers everybody around him. That's why the scriptures, Malachi 1:4 says he's the border of wickedness. And you'll fully understand that in the times to come, that they will fully show their horns. All right. So it says, "Flee out of Mr. Babylon and deliver every man his soul." All right. That's why he mentioned, the Board of Education. They give our children a curriculum. As you see now, what are they doing? They're allowing transgenders to influence the children, and they call it gradualism. And gradually they allow these things, these ideals to come in. And what is a form of witchcraft, because you're influencing certain people to be a certain way. And really, you don't give them choice. You're misleading them. You're deceiving them in a way that's subtle, in a way that's, it's really, I can't find a word for it, but it's really bad, man. It's really deceptive. Okay. He mentioned redlining, which they put us in ghettos, man, and they redlined us. Okay. Slack you. So it says, "Be not cut off in her iniquity." All right, because America bears iniquity. The idealism, the philosophy, the social construct of this place is iniquity, man. All right. So it says, "For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." And America is going to be recompensed for all the evil things that it has done throughout history. All right. Especially to the blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, and the laws that were set up to pretty much undermine this. All right. So my next scripture, it's Salakia. I always have some type of distraction. It's very frustrating, but you got to learn to deal with it. So Psalm 94:20 says, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?" All right. "They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood." And that's what they have done through redlining, through Jim Crow, and that was over 100 years, Hey, in the prison industrial complex, 3 strikes you out. The war on drugs, which was actually a war on you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans within your communities. Them strategically putting drugs in your communities, them strategically putting weapons in your community. These things go without anybody saying anything about it. All right. We can't even go to the Supreme Court, in the world Supreme Court, and get any justice. All right. They always have talks about it, but the scriptures say, like the one I love to bring out, I think it's Jeremiah 15:5. Who shall bemoan thee? Who shall come to see how thou doest, O Israel? Nobody is helping us get us out of this predicament, except for the Spirit of the Lord, which is, Yahweh Yahweh Shai. All right. He put his spirit upon us to come out here and justify, to bring his word, because within his word, within his Bible, it justifies the meek. It justifies the poor, the fatherless. All right. The widows from the oppression of those that be in power. OK. All right. So my next scripture. All right. Oh, here we go. Verse 22. But the Lord is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. All right. And that's why it says, flee ye out of the midst of Babylon. So we don't teach our children. We don't teach ourselves. We flee from everything we're taught. OK, from the school systems, and mainly the school systems. All right. Institutions and the religious institutions. All right. Because they teach us dogma, dogmentation of the Roman Catholic Church. Everything that's against the Most High, and hence they call this the New World, because they have shied away from the things of the Most High. All right. And the scriptures talk about them forgetting the Most High. All right. The creator that made them. It says, and he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord our power shall cut them off. And really, they like to make a standpoint that we're evil, that we're, mad. You hate yourselves by the laws that you govern yourselves by. All right. Because they're not of, the divine law. All right. They're not by the divine law. And divine law is this, the 613 laws that's in the Bible. All right. Which Esau, they have thousands of laws on all type of things. OK, so Salakia. So let me see. I should get the Jeremiah 15:5. I think it's 15:5. Yep. Jeremiah 15:5. So for who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem, or who shall bemoan thee, or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? All right. Thou hast forsaken me, said the Lord, thou art gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee. I am weary with repenting. All right. And that's how the Most High is going to start. Well, he's been doing that. OK, he's been destroying us because what? We lean on this current system, this current establishment, and thinking that, it's OK to get along, to go along with the same mindset as these different cultures in America, with the westernized mindset, and not with the divine law that the Lord has given us. All right. Next scripture is Ecclesiastes. Well, no, Ecclesiasticus 12:10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right. So a lot of you trust in the so-called white man, but you're going to be had in derision. OK, because everything what the scripture explains, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. All right. So you're going to see your enemy for what they are. OK. All right. So it says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And that's what these white people want, these Edomites. All right. Let's get that straight. They're not white. They're Edomites. OK. And people have a problem and don't have the full understanding when they, color is, blinders, but they're Edomites, all right? It says, lest he take thy seat. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take your seat, man. All right? It's spiritual. It says, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. So you're supposed to be pricked with this understanding. And a lot of our people don't have this basic understanding. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right? Who can turn that straight, which the Lord has turned crooked? All right? The Esau is a crooked, perverse nation of men and women and children. Okay? They're the evil seed who have grown in the earth and who has covered the earth like a dew, man. You know? And what are they here to do? They're here to destroy every damn thing, man. Spiritually, physically, you know? All right, so Revelations, and I'm going to end it right here. Revelations 9 and 15. All right. No, it's 13, 15. It's lucky. Revelations chapter 13, 15. All right. Let me see. I can't start at 14. I'm going to hit the point. It said, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. And the image, what? That is the social construct. That's the merits. That's the ideals, the philosophy of this society, which that it all stems back from the Roman society, the Roman Empire, which was ruled by Edomites. All right. And at its very core is wicked, because it does not go by the divine law of the Most High. So the image, well, I'll go into the word image. Okay. It's easier if you get an understanding through, all right. Slack. All right, so the word image, Strong's G 1504, icon. Imagine that, icon. You know, an image, a figure, likeness, an image of the things. All right. And 1 and 2 don't fit it. It says, oh yeah, it does. But it says the image of one in whom the likeness of many is seen, applied to man, account of his power of command. Let's see. It says profile, representation, resemblance. All right. And what does it resemble? It resembles what the old fashioned of the Roman Empire, because they set up politics the same way they did in the ancient Roman Empire. They set it up the same way here in the American Roman Empire. The American Roman Empire. It says to be like. All right. So the image of what? The image of the beast that once lived. All right. Because they set up the social structure almost very, very identical. All right. With the social decadence, the bread and circuses, meaning the sports and games and fun, even with the food. All right. You know, so yeah, man. So if you turn away from this society, man, you make yourself a prey, and really, you know, they're gonna kill you if you don't adhere to the social norms. All right, especially when this new world order comes. It's here, you know. And you see how the transgender, the LGBTQA is doing, you know. They'll persecute you just because you don't accept their ways, man. All right. Hey, but with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, Shem Kakudash, the honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. You know, salutations to you, Aki, that's out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Lord willing, edify. Shalom.